Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Imperial Dane, with another Propagandacast for you, my wonderful viewers. And today we have a 1 vs 1 in the fields of Langres. Yes, Langres, that ever old tiny favorite. And in the north, as the 21st Panzer Division, we have Douswithfire. Apparently deciding he is the fire brigade of the Wehrmacht in this particular sector. He is leading the 21st Panzer Division against Smallfrizzle, Captain Frizzle of the 3rd Armoured Division, ready to take on this division of the Reich, the 21st Panzer Division. And let's see who shall win. Shall the Germans be successful in their defense, or will the Americans crush the German defenders? And we see the usual barracks. Probably Wehrmacht quarters start. Will these pioneers go straight for the munitions point and leave their second comrades to set up the Wehrmacht quarters? Certainly interesting. Yes, indeed. Instead, with the first team going straight for the munitions. Not completely rare, but it's certainly in the sort of rare to sort of semi-common sort of tactics, but we usually use the first team to set up the barracks, Wehrmacht quarters or something else, and then you get the second one to take territories and names. Well, not names really, that's more for the actual frontline infantry, like these dashing riflemen who are now being trained from the barracks. Pioneers rushing out, Wehrmacht quarters up with a bit of a delay, giving Smallfrizzle's riflemen the advantage for the start, and certainly going to delay any support assets that could support any Volksgrenadiers if they're the first one to start out. We'll have to see. But so far this will mean that the riflemen of the 3rd Armored Division will have the slight advantage from the beginning if they use it correctly and carefully. And yes, indeed, Volksgrenadiers from the 21st marching out. 21st, I do believe, was in sort of a way set up as an elite division, even giving the rare cuff title, well, handcuffs, sort of. I can't remember the title, but every elite division had the special cuff for their uniform. And the 21st were among those, but in reality it probably was an entire elite, partly composed of old troops from nearby fortress divisions and the such, but I do believe they performed admirably nonetheless. And of course they were also equipped with old French converted equipment. And we have the first skirmish going off. One Volksgrenadier, one rifleman down. The Volksgrenadier certainly in the losing end of this fight. Pioneers moving in to support, albeit a bit too late, and looks like these Volksgrenadiers may have to pull back in the face of superior American firepower, and these riflemen have suffered heavily. Pioneers now moving in, riflemen quickly dashing off, not staying to support the engineers against the pioneers apparently, but now getting second thoughts, perhaps conscience compelling them back to shoot at the pioneers, forcing them to pull back before all is too late. Now we see fresh Volksgrenadiers arriving to support the war effort. Riflemen moving into heavy cover, the Volksgrenadiers only having light cover. Light cover, I said in a different match, I do believe is actually non-directional, but for some reason I always treat all cover as directional. It's certainly a bit more fun that way, but light cover versus heavy cover mean, in those terms, light cover is non-directional, which can certainly be very good if you need to move through it. That's certainly easier and more advantage, but it only gives a small bonus in making your troops harder to hit, whereas heavy cover also gives them a small damage protection bonus, so that's something to remember. And heavy cover is of course directional, meaning it's not a magical talisman that you can touch. You need to actually be on the right side or your men will suffer for it. Volksgrenadiers marching out once more to stop the American invaders. Volksgrenadiers on the right footing this time. It looks like riflemen caught out in the open and pulling back towards this building. Pioneers seizing territory here while the engineers are seizing this territory. A bit funny and perhaps a bit awkward. Riflemen having been reinforced and ready to take up the fight against the 21st once more, while a 3rd team is on the field, or going to be trained and be sent onto the field. Still nothing out for the German defenders. Still only 2 Volksgrenadier teams. And we have something out. A sniper. Sniper with the Gewehr 43 with the scope. And these riflemen are certainly not in a good condition, but they certainly have the advantage at the moment, although the sniper will take care of that. Indeed, one rifleman down to sniper fire, while the rest are being taken out slowly by the rifle fire from the Volksgrenadiers, who are certainly enjoying the heavy cover. And another rifleman goes down to this elite sniper. Rifleman moving in from the south, and some engineers with flamethrowers are ready to scorch out any dug-in defenders as well. Certainly a heavy assault configuration we are seeing. And we see the third team as well. Rifleman moving in, trying to hunt down the sniper, apparently quite angry at the losses he has inflicted. But they do make the mistake of ignoring all these Volksgrenadiers around them, meaning they will take heavy fire from all sides without being in cover, which can certainly end badly. And of course they've yet to actually find the sniper, and of course forced to retreat. And now the sniper is trying to take a shot, and in fact gets one rifleman on the retreat. One has to note the only units the sniper can actually hit on retreat all the time are units with elite armor, meaning for the Americans they can hit grenadiers and stormtroopers with V-22. For the Germans they can hit rangers on the retreat. And we see riflemen charging forwards, MG42 now setting up as well, and of course we still have the sniper. Not a good position for these riflemen, and we see in the same instant BARs being researched. And what is this? Riflemen setting up in this building, overwatching the munitions point, and oh my goodness, Volksgrenadier team down. Flamethrowers moving in as well. This is certainly being a bit costly to both sides, although the Wehrmacht seems to be suffering the most from it. One Volksgrenadier team down, and the other team is deeply wounded. Not looking good. The Germans securing this far out fuel point, certainly the higher yield fuel point. Not many of those, although the majority is in the eastern side, while in the west we have this high yield munitions point. Volksgrenadiers going for this strategic point, denying the Americans the eastern side. The riflemen now leaving the building, moving in with the BARs, catching the MG42 team out in the open. This could easily end badly for the MG42, but looks like the rest of the American force is back in the base, regrouping and recouping. And we see the American riflemen running straight into the MG42 while also taking sniper fire. Quite brutal. Heavy losses, in fact several wounded and dead, and of course forced to retreat, although the sniper misses. Here we go, riflemen moving in from several points. Going to use the cast to minimize the effect from the MG42, its range of fire. And of course moving in from several sides is also going to make it harder, because there's only the MG42 and the sniper. Certainly not enough to prevent the riflemen from moving in on the flank. And there we go, MG42 gunner is down, forcing the rest to retreat. Sniper's caught out in the open and is gunned down, still breathing but wounded, and will need medical attention or he will be dead within seconds. Apparently it was a gut shot, seems to be holding his stomach. And the Volksgrenadiers are now being forced to retreat as well. We see a third team having been sent in to replace the first one lost. But this team might as well be lost as well, unless they get out quickly without too much trouble, and barely getting out of there. V-21 up for the first rifleman. Certainly a good start, and now Captain Frizzle will be able to seize the central area for Uncle Sam. And what is this? Captain Hauptmann Doos of the 21st is setting up a Sturm Armory,
We have aerial recon
which most likely means Pumas, and it looks like Captain Frizzle absolutely has no anti-tank assets, and he has also gone airborne, going right now for air reconnaissance, meaning most likely what next we'll see is strafing run, and he certainly has the munitions to actually keep that going for a bit of while, but he will need something to hold back any future Pumas, and certainly he has no anti-tank assets at all at the moment. And we see the Wehrmacht troops are moving forwards. Again, a medical kit has been given to these Volksgrenadiers, giving them a bit of healing, and MP40s as well. A lot of munitions on that single Volksgrenadier team. Let's hope they live up to it. Riflemen moving in, going to be caught by the MP40 equipped Volksgrenadiers, and an MG42 in the back providing the firepower. And oh my goodness, a strafing run taking out the Volksgrenadier team, slaughtering them all, leaving Then wounded and dead. Oh, this is quite extraordinary. Unfortunate for the Wehrmacht commander. Certainly a lot bloody, and is certainly going to leave him behind. And we see Hauptmann Douse is certainly not happy about that loss to Strafing Run, and Strafing Run will in fact receive a nerf with the next patch, meaning it's not going to be so devastating on squads caught out in the open on their own, but will certainly be more effective against blobs at the same time. Currently it's a bit reversed. Captain Frizzle still not having any anti-tank assets, no sticky bombs, no armored cars, no anti-tank guns or tanks, no anything. So not looking good in case Hauptmann Douse and of course the 21st Panzer Division catch him off guard and out in the open. And there we go, motor pool going up, and let's have a look at the 21st Panzer Division troops. Only an MG42 team, a Pioneer team deeply wounded, and one man, and an MP40 equipped Volksgrenadiers team is on the field alongside the Puma. Certainly not looking good at all, and a second Puma is being rushed to the field to take advantage of what he suspects is a lack of anti-tank assets from Smallfrizzle's 3rd Armored Division, since he has been using BARs, which certainly means less fuel for getting armor and anti-tank assets. And with all of these losses and of course strafing runs, it's not a bad idea for sure. The armored cars, the heavy armored cars, in fact the Puma was a heavy armored car, not like the Panzer Elite one, meaning more armor, and of course 8 wheels. It was certainly a bit more maneuver in some points, and of course capable of with a bit more firepower. There we go, catching the rifleman out in the open. The armored car using its 2cm auto cannon to great effect, cutting down 2 riflemen in cold blood and quickly pulling back before the BARs can do much damage. Although these riflemen are wisely using the cover for protection, meaning the autocannon of the Puma won't be able to do so much damage. And we see the second Puma rushing southwards, and I don't think he has gone for a doctrine. No, it does not look like it, so we will have to see what he will be going for there. No defensive, no blitz, no terror at this moment. And what is this? A rifleman team sneaking about, hiding near a small bunch of logged wood. And we hear another team being cut down. Oh dear. Volksgrenadier team slaughtered in cold blood. Where did that happen? Oh goodness gracious, I do not know. There we go, Volksgrenadiers cut down by a strafing run, meaning that currently Douse has absolutely no infantry. He only has a Pioneer team and an MG42 and his 2 Pumas. Quite horrific, and is certainly going to set him back in terms of capping. So and the only thing that's currently saving him is these 2 Pumas, preventing the Americans from seizing too much more of his territory. Otherwise there would be not much to do for him to actually regain it. We see these Pioneers are being caught, and oh dearie me, will he lose them? Oh